Hello, fellow YouTubers. Trouble8385 at YouTube Gaming Community number 9. Okay, I'm going to start off by thanking 3 people this week. First person I'm going to thank is Pete Dorr. He just this week took me off his checkout channel list, and I must honestly thank him. I could not believe the amount of people who check out the front of his page and told me, "Oh, you're on Pete Dorr's checkout channel list. Do you know that?" Blew me away how much of an impact his front channel page makes when someone he puts you on there. It blew my mind away. Really, it did. I don't know how many views or subs I got from him doing that. He didn't have to do that. Listen, I had under 100 subs when he saw my channel and my videos, and something he liked that put me up there. He didn't have to. He could have simply said, "Hey, I like your channel," and sub to it, and that would have been it. It'd been, he saw something he liked. And it doesn't matter in his checkout channel if he only changes one person. The fact that he does change one person periodically is really cool. Now, next up is Nerox, a guy who's been subscribed to my channel from pretty much the beginning, who may have not left a lot of comments throughout the time my videos over time, but the fact that he stayed subscribed and not unsubscribed to my channel, especially early on, meant a lot. Now, he just put me on his checkout channel list, or more cool channels. Nerox makes driving videos look cool, if you ever watched any of his driving videos. Though, Nerox, I'm still waiting for the Airwolf themed video. Where's that, man? Come on, you've done all the other 80s TV shows. Where's my Airwolf? Though, his videos are really cool, and Sight and Sounds, he does really cool videos. And next up is Monte Carlo 10254. I was about to go to bed last night. I go, I'll go get my subscriptions one last time, see what's going on. And his was the first video, his Go Check Out Trouble 8385 video, which blew my mind that someone would put a video up to check my channel, But I did learn something, Monte Carlo. I don't like looking at myself in a video. I don't know why. I just don't. I was like going, I just don't like looking at myself in a video. So, it's really cool that he did that. Honestly, it's been really cool, the response to these video series. I've been amazed at how many people I've either watched their videos in the past or new people just flock and stick to this series. It's just amazed me, honestly. But I'll answer his one question in his video. I'm never going to change Monte Carlo. Whether I have 2 subs or 200,000 or 2 million. This is who I am. Good, bad, or indifferent. You may agree with some things I say, you may disagree. But this is me. I'm enjoying these series immensely. Amy Bros asking this question. I'm enjoying this immensely. Not just the videos. I'm enjoying more actually the interaction with people in the comments. The people who I've watched it for or new people on YouTube. It's been very, very fun. This whole thing's been very enjoyable for me, quite frankly. This format seems to fit with what I do best. So I'm going to stick with it. And so the question N64 Player 9 asked me at the end of YouTube Gaming Community number 7 in the comments was, talk about your correct etiquette on emulation and burning games. Now we're going to add illegal downloading games to this because it ties in together. Let's talk about emulation, shall we? Here's what I believe. If you don't want a bunch of systems and a bunch of cords, game boxes, games, emulation's great. They're all one little on your computer, and anytime you can play it, play the game you like, and get off. I don't believe in emulation, by the way, for any current system. It's just, if you like the game, buy it. If you like the system, buy it. Now, emulation's also great for, let's say you go to your retro store and you go, I never played a game, but I don't know if I want to buy it. You could go home, download a ROM on emulation, or MAME, and play it, and go, I like the game, I'm going to buy it. Gives you a chance to like Earthbound. Again, it costs $150, $200. Let's say you can't afford ever to buy that game. Well, you could play it on ROM. You could play it and find out if you actually enjoy that game that everybody talks about. Or even highly more expensive games from the TurboGrafx, any other system, older system. It's really cool that you have the ability to do that. I use emulation, quite frankly, to download Japanese games that either didn't come out in the United States or that I can't afford to buy. There are some downsides to emulation. Now, the cons are quite simple. Sometimes the sound of the game is off. Sometimes the speed is off, though. If it is an arcade game, you might be countered by the fact that when you played the old days, arcade owners used to crank up the speed in the game so you died faster. And sometimes the game's not even right to the actual real game. It's totally wrong. You got to know the game you're downloading on ROM and MAME, unless it's a site you trust. There are other dirty tricks they do out there. A lot of them you'll see go, click on these 3 sites so you can get us #1 on these search sites. And you don't really have to vote. Times you just go there and go back and it says you did. And then you might get to that and it'll say, hey, well, that's great, but you need to pay a monthly or yearly fee in order to access our database to play these ROMs. Or the other one is it doesn't go anywhere after you do that at all. They just want your vote or check whatever product out just to get the money. And so, but if you find it, there are sites that do it for free and that are really good with the ROMs. For me, the hardest emulation I've actually had to find ROM-wise was Super Pac-Man. I don't know why, but it was hard for me to find on online. So emulation's really cool. Nothing wrong with it. Man, there's nothing wrong with putting videos of gameplay emulation. The greatest thing about emulation is that the new MAME versions that you and your friend could play an old game from your childhood online against each other is really cool. Now, illegal downloading a game. This is one that everybody gets their panties in a bunch about that I have a much different view on. With the price of games being $60 today, just too high, and the fact that, you know what, my people, you know, that they're too high and that they expect every game that come out to be at $60 price point. There's nothing wrong with downloading a game online and trying it first and say, you know what, I like the game, I'm going to buy it. Now, if you like that game, you buy it. You don't keep playing the game because you downloaded it. You buy the game. You support the publisher and the game that you like. You know, a lot of people have problems with illegal downloading, which I quite don't understand. You know, during the PlayStation 2 era, when the only system out there that anybody was buying was PlayStation 2 and there's nothing else basically, publishers could put out bad games and everybody go out and buy enough where they would make a decent profit. But with three systems they all doing well in competition, which I love, you put out a bad game, people aren't going to buy it, especially with the economy situation and so forth and so on. So don't make your game suck. Put out good marketing campaigns too. I've seen so many games get killed because they're bad marketing campaign. Remember the 90s Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 where, yeah, they didn't show you any gameplay, but the cutscenes told you the story where you were just like, man, I want to play that game, and you went out and you bought that game. So that's my opinion on that subject. If anybody else has a counter opinion or a different opinion, just leave me a comment or a personal message. Next issue we're going to get to is copyright infringement. This is one I've seen go around a lot on YouTube lately. You want to see Oto-U272's video where he put a claim and got it changed. Now, copyright, let's get to copyright when it comes to the video games that you play. Due to legal precedent set, one of the few legal precedents set with video games, just like movies and CDs, you do not own any of the content on that game. It means you bought the game, you can play, they allow you to play the game, but you don't own the content. Which means, let's take Activision and Modern Warfare 2, since that was the best-selling game of this generation so far. Let's say they decide, okay, the game's been out since November, enough people have bought it and played it for a while. What we're going to do is, on PSN, Xbox Live, and PC, we're going to send out a thing that shuts the game off, you can't play it anymore. In order to play it again, you got to buy a new copy. I know what you're thinking. They're not going to do that. Well, if the gains are more than the negatives, they'll do it. They won't do it today because there's too many negatives to it, but they have every right with their copyright to do that. You don't own the game you buy. Let's take Game Survivalist, a channel on YouTube, for example. He puts up game trailers that the publishers put out for games. Let's say Capcom decide that new Mega Man Online cool anime trailer they just had come out, for example. Let's say they decide, okay, it's been out for this long, we don't want it shown anymore. So they put a cease and desist to every game survivalist and any game website out there, and they have to take it down on YouTube too. If they don't, they can simply file a thing due to copyright and take it off YouTube. They could change the copyright at any time, meaning they could take whatever part of the game they were copyright enforcing and change it and force something else. The U.S. copyright law, for example, simply states, in order to keep your copyright, you must enforce it. That's why you see these guys go after fan sites and that. They don't want to do it, but due to keep the copyright, they have to. So, let's say, for example, whoever got you NFL Blitz from when Midway went away decided, you know what, we don't want any video shown of any former Blitz game except for the new one we got coming out. They could put a thing on YouTube, and they would have to take down every single video of that game, period. That's why your channel, from a daily basis, what's copyright infringed or not, could change. Video that's not now may be tomorrow. Now, most of the time, the actual copyright holder will actually just remove the video. They won't smack that ID tag, content ID tag in on there. That's YouTube's search engine doing it, which they hit me with Lane and Kinch 2. Lennon Cage, you know what I mean. Kane and Lynch 2. I can say it right. My story mode demo, which I put up because I had a beta key at the time, and you know, a lot of people could play it. They smacked it with that ID thing, and I just deleted it because it didn't matter to me. If it was these community videos, I'd put a fight to the bitter end, but that I don't care about. And if you counter it, then they'll review it, and the original content owner could say yes or no, or YouTube could say, okay, we're wrong, our thing flagged you not rightly. Now, in Google and YouTube's case, if you do not counter it, they're going to consider you guilty. Now, I do not know when they put the content ID whether it actually takes your video, you can't be viewed anymore. I know in some cases they do take it where you can't be viewed anymore or not, but if your views aren't going up lively, it's completely taken out of the loop where people can't see it. So if you don't counter it, no one's going to be able to see it. Now let's talk about the dirty tactics of this subject, because it does happen. There are other channels who use this copyright thing to smack people around, to get them to quit making channels, or get their videos that they have up to get rid of the competition's videos. The first four when it comes to this copyright thing that you go to are the ones they usually use. Inappropriate content, of course, nudity and violence. I appear in this video without permission. Abuse, harassment, someone is attacking me. And last but not least, piracy, someone is using my image. Now, when you click on the first one, it goes to a, you know, if the video is doing the appropriate, flag the video. I'm sure someone at YouTube, I'm hoping someone at YouTube checks the video for inappropriate content when someone puts a flag on it. Because if your bad videos keep being flagged, YouTube can suspend your channel and shut it down. Now, the other three go to a thing where a little video pops up and it shows you etiquette in the community, what you should be doing and what other people should be doing, and then they have lists on the side you can click to keep going further with your claim against other people. A lot of different things: cyber attack, abuse me, blah blah blah. Now, a lot of these cases, you really don't have to prove it. You can go through the whole process and harass people. So I seen this happen a year ago where a guy kept harassing the competition every video he put out over and over again with some copyright thing against him, harassment, whatever, and he just quit YouTube because he got frustrated by it. He got sick of dealing with it. There are people who do this. If anybody in this gaming community uses this dirty tactic with copyright or so forth, so on, or flagging, I will call these people out to all high heaven every single video until they get off YouTube. It's a ridiculous joke that people use this stuff against other people on YouTube. It really is. Now, in case you want to know, number 10 is coming tomorrow. I have so much content to get to, Angry Bros questions and videos I didn't get to put here, even channels to check out. So number 10 is going to be up tomorrow. Though I am going to try to catch Mondo Coolcast 13 that is on tomorrow night. And I did check out All Gamers 4, and I will talk about that. But Stu and Mick 3, I did check it out. They did get a lot better in this last podcast that they're talking, and they also, I love guys talking about games, okay? And I know number 3, Equilibrium Gaming, is going to be in it, so it'll be interesting to see how they do with the third person. And I love Equilibrium Gaming. If you don't know, he seems to be doing a YouTube tour these days, because this Sunday on a Tark 77 live stream, Equilibrium Gaming makes his debut, 11 a.m. Eastern this Sunday. Now, real quick before I end this video, let's get to 2 channels you might want to check out. The first one's called The Poop Sniff. Funny title. He's been on YouTube for 1 year. He's got 100 subs. He's got Arcade 80s Lost Treasure reviews and 80s arcade montage. Basically, if you don't know, he basically has videos up of 80s arcade games. Next up is Sega Gen Player. He has 36 subs, been on YouTube for 4 months. He's got basically Genesis gameplay, Eternal Champion, Mortal Kombat 2, Shinobi 3, Streets of Rage 2, among others. So that's all for this video, guys. Until my next one.